Hello, hello. How are you all doing today? Happy Monday. I am on travel. I think I mentioned it last week when we were on our normal streams, so I don't have the normal setup today. Let's go ahead and let me show you what I'm working with here. Basically, we have I'm just on my normal Mac. We have the built-in camera because I had my choice of for room in the bag. Do I want an external mic or do I want an external camera? And I figured external mic would be a little bit more important. So I've actually got that set up. It's the first time I'm using this. It's a Zoom H1N, and I listened to it a little bit beforehand when I was setting it up, and it actually seems to be working just fine. Limitations, I have it off to my left instead of like down below me. I couldn't figure out a good way of mounting it. I have a little tiny tripod. So I'm hoping it's not only going to be like in the left hand side of your ears. So let me know if that's a problem. But I figured today is going to be sort of like a testing. How does this work? Does everything work the way we expect it to? I'm looking at Restream's website, and the bitrate seems to be perfectly fine. I dropped it down to 3K, so that way we can make sure that I don't run out of, or that I don't use too much, because as I mentioned in the title here, it is I'm on satellite internet here. We're far enough away that there is no normal internet. Like basically, the choice here is dial-up or satellite, and that's it. And I don't think we want to even try, even thinking about dial-up, especially on these phone lines. They're way too old. All right, so in the meantime, while we're testing this out and sort of like seeing how it goes, we're going to, I figured that after we finished the project last week, we could start working on updating the Axum course to the latest version of Axum because we've had quite a few updates. Oh, that dropped us, we dropped a little bit down to 1 point something K, that's not great. I wish I didn't bring multiple devices with me. I only have my phone and my computer. So if I want to see what's going on here, yeah, so we dropped 862 frames, which isn't too bad. It's better than I expected it to be. So one of the things I want to sort of like check out with this is how good this system will be. Will I want to continue trying to stream a few times here in this room where I'm staying, or am I going to want to go potentially like try grabbing an office? I might also do that this trip to sort of like experiment around and see how that is and see how expensive it is to get like a co-working office for a day or so. Maybe like would they even let me have it? So, anyways, lots of experiments this trip, and I'm here for the next week and a half. So not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday I'm heading back. But okay, so here's what I'm thinking. We're going to work on the full stack Axum course, which we did, I don't know, years ago at this point, and get that and see if we can just like update that or maybe do like an update video to 0.75, I think is the latest version, and sort of play around with that. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and I don't have a Zellige window for this. Let's create a new one. And we're going to call this, I guess this is like the full stack Axum. Should I do full stack web course? It kind of is for that entire repo, right? So full stack web course. If I do it again and I redo it, I probably wouldn't create it in a mono repo and have like the full stack course, probably break them out into smaller module courses. But that I want you. Okay, so this is I want the Axum course. Okay, so I do have changes to the Docker file here. That's interesting. I don't remember making changes to it, but apparently we did. The other thing, we did a git pull, and there's nothing up to date there, so that's good. I probably want to create a new. Oh, my bitrate just dropped down to 425. That is rough. That is very rough. I think what I'm going to do, which is unfortunate because I won't be able to watch. I won't be able. Oh, I could watch it here. Okay, cool. So that works. I mean, it seems to be fine. Oh, you know what it is? I probably should try to figure out how to switch my latency next time to like really long latency because then that will help a lot with this type of delayed internet. But I don't think I can change that after the fact. And I especially don't want to do it live on screen where I can't hide my screen easily. So yeah, okay. I'm not going to worry too much about that. I'll just be able to wish I could also like restream would let me move like see the chat a little bit higher. But I guess that's my problem for getting one of the mini phones. So I don't get to see as much at a time. Okay, back to this. If I want to run the test right now to see that everything is working, I guess we'll create a branch to check out it's switch now. Get switch. See, well, updating to 0 or V075. Schizophrenic, hello, how are you doing today? I am in California right now. And I'm also curious because I answered that almost exactly when I saw your pop-up. How bad is the delay for you? My guess is like 30 to 40 seconds, maybe longer right now. Oh yeah, and every once in a while it drops down. I got down 20 seconds. Okay, that's not too bad. Although the bitrate dropped down to 5 frames per second for just a few seconds, which is I believe suboptimal is what you'd say. Okay, so what was I? Oh, right, we want to go take a look at Axum. Yeah, 075. Okay, so that's our new branch, and I could go ahead and push that up right now. I don't think we have any auto tests that run in the cloud, but let's just check that out, I guess. So git push u origin, updating to that, and yeah, okay. So no automated tests running in the cloud for this repo. I don't remember if yeah, I think I've done GitHub Actions for some other courses, but probably not this one. But that's fine. Okay, so what do I want to do starting with this? I probably need to start the database if we want to do any of the tests. And I believe that is in this Docker compose here. So if I do a Docker compose, first off, this is going to run Docker compose. Oh, I have something running on port 5432 already somewhere else. Potentially, okay, so I can't use that, which means we would need to switch to a different port on everything, which isn't too big of an issue. And you're not running here. It's my other profile that I have 5432 open and running. So yeah, we're gonna have to update that to use it. Maybe use something else. Okay, so let's do a compose down. How's my typing? Because I can't see the little what is it called? The size, the wave form, this the loudness monitor something. Can't see what that is when I type. So I don't know if it's like really loud. The microphone is on a tripod, but it's just on the table that my MacBook is. So I don't like have anything dampening it between it. At least it's better than using the integrated mic in the laptop, which would be significantly worse. Okay, so what do I want to do? I want to change this port. So if I do so for database, right? Okay, so you're 5432, 5432. So if I change you to like 5433 to 5432 internally, which is fine. And is there anything else? Yeah, so my DB connection for, oh, that's Node.js Express. I don't really care about that. We're not going to run you. API test, we care about. Postgres, keyboard cat at database 5433. And then I don't think we ever put Axum inside of Docker for some reason. I want to say like it was just really slow, which Docker Watch probably now resolves, but maybe it was something else. Okay, let's try this. Why you do this, Docker? I don't care about you. Go away. Okay, so you seem to be. Did I do watch, not wait? Oh, I did watch. That's the problem. I don't want waited. Okay, so we're still editing back on the stream, but that's fine. Okay, so the database is the only one that got set up. Is that because I have a profile? So database, no matter what. Oh, I do have a profile. So I don't care about the Node.js Express one, but API test one. Oh, but that brings up Node.js Express. It builds the integration test backend tests. It volume mounts those in, and then it says how to get. Oh, okay. So actually, in your case, it would be fairly normal. I wouldn't need to change you. Let's add a profile for this, which is just we'll do Axum. That way, it runs both of those together, and then we should see the tests fail because obviously our Axum server isn't running. And I wonder if we're going to want to Dockerize it now. We would need to in order for it to run, wouldn't we? But that's going to be fine. So let's go ahead and Docker compose down this. Up. Okay, so I think it's actually Docker Compose profile here, Axum, up, wait. There, I think that's gonna work just fine. And I think you could see that above my head. All right, so that seems to be fine so far. We can wait for this to download. As you can see, this is a little bit slower than we would normally get. I also see the resolution taking a pretty big hit too. So my guess is that attempting to do well, we're back to 2K, 2.5K. But we were on 3K for a while. Yeah. I think downloading this is not happy when it comes to streaming. Is the stream even watchable? Like, are you able to hear me at all? It doesn't look. Okay, so I see it pausing every once in a while. I do see the lag on that. And I'm watching on very low resolution, but I don't think that matters too much. So I guess that makes sense. But yeah, that's not great. Okay, and we stopped downloading, which means that yeah, the resolution the bitrate went back up to 3.8K for a while. Oh, but it dropped back down again. I don't think it did any downloading for that, which is unfortunate. Okay, so it ran the API tests, which I believe should all fail. I believe. Oh, and did we need to set? What is it? Docker Compose. That's what it is. For the API tests, API port 3000. Right, API URI. And so this one I would probably want to say something like, you're going to be Axum, which it's going to say, I can't find you. I don't know what that is, which is perfectly fine. But we need to come back to this. And we have the jot secret, but that's also okay. So let's split things and start diving in to sort of like see what we can see. So if we want to Dockerize the Axum application, we could just do this down here. To Axum. We probably do want to do a develop section, don't we? Have a watch. The path property, I believe, is where is it? It's the path inside of. It's either the path that's inside the container or that's under what's under action. What can I do in here? Oh, it won't tell me. Is action just right? Okay, so if I just do a sync, then path is going to be where I want it to go to. So something like code. I believe that's how that works. Of course, we don't have that set up right now, so we have to figure that out. And if we go into backend Rust Axum, now I do have a Docker file here, so we have something to start with. I guess we can just continue using Helix over here. So backend Rex XM Docker. Oh, we don't have anything in here. Okay. We'll do from Rust. I mean, probably latest is okay with this. It should hopefully work with the latest version of Rust. And now when we want to run our command, I would love for us to run Docker watch with this so we don't have to restart the container every time. It would make it a little bit faster. So we can do a, see, cargo watch. Is it -C? No, it's -S. No, that's shell command. -X. So something like that. Okay, but of course, in order to get cargo watch, we need to install cargo watch. So this would be a run. We want to install, see, cargo, install cargo watch. What's the command? What was the command to, oh, -- locked. Oh, it's, I think it's install -- locked cargo watch, something like that. Okay, so if we do that, I should be able to just build this here and destroy the internet again or destroy the network again, unless we have the latest version of Rust image already, which we might actually have down here. So let's try that. So cargo, gonna build. Oh, but it has to cargo install, which that always causes, that's a big beefy install. So this might actually cause a pretty big lag, and we'll see how that is. If we continue dropping down for low enough resolution for long enough, then I might need to call it and just say like, yeah, this was not, this is a good experiment, but it's not going to work. Okay, so let's try this. So cargo build -T, we'll call this just, I'll just call it Axum for this. Axum latest. There you go. Cargo build. I thought it was -T. Is it now -- target? Cargo. Oh, not cargo build. Docker build. Docker build -T. Axum dot. There we go. Okay, I got confused about which command I'm trying to use. Yes, this is going to hit pretty hard. We're at 2400, 1800, still around 1800. Let's see what OBS is saying. Yeah, I've lost 25.4% of all of my frames so far, which is, not great. It's not usually what you want to see. But it's not in a red. It's, oh, okay, spoke too soon. Now we're in the red. So I did never drop frames. It's just that the bit rate dropped quite a bit. But again, not too great. Now I am recording this locally, and so even if I can't stream, I can still do recordings and play around with that. So I might actually try that. It's like I can do some non-streaming recording and try that out over the next couple weeks as well. So I am curious about like how the audio is sounding, and I'll listen to this one afterwards to sort of like see what I think it is. I don't have this this place doesn't have like it has some things on the walls, but not great things. I can hear an echo myself, so that's not gonna be great for audio. I did close the windows because, well, I didn't want to tell my parents they can't, run around outside, play with the dog, and do all that stuff without, worrying about me. So that's a whole different thing altogether. Okay, so that ran, which I'm thinking now this actually won't like do anything, will it? Because it doesn't have any code in there. So I want to make dir. Okay, so let's do a run. I'm gonna make dir /code. So make a directory there for us to mount into, and then we're going to. So you're gonna mount in. No, we're gonna copy in all the code. So it's copy, and I want to copy what? Okay, I'm gonna make this a little bit smaller so we can actually. Oh, I can. You know what? I can full screen you. What am I looking for? I'm probably just want everything, right? So I want. Oh, but you know what the other thing is? I believe that the tests really only care about the full application. And the full application in this case is the project solution. And so here I am, I'm in Axum. Okay, and so that's a root level? That's not exactly. In Axum, we have a project solution directory. I want this, and that gets put inside of /code. And that's what we're going to execute and run. Okay, that's good to know. So if I come back to here, we're going to copy. Now, where am I running this? From the Docker files perspective, this is running from. Is this going to be here? I don't actually know where. I guess the context is from here, right? So this would be just project solution. So copy project solution to /code. So once that goes in there, we want a work dir. Is it not working? Is it working directory? What's I thought it was work dir. I guess it's not work dir. It's not entry point. Yeah, okay, so it is work dir. I'm not insane. Work dir. Did I not spell it correctly? Is that why it didn't turn orange? So you go back to code, and so now the command should work. We copy this in there. Everything should be fine. Okay, I think this is our bare minimum that should run it. I probably also want to expose some ports. So let's expose what? What? Oh, 3000, I think. Okay, so expose 3000. We're fine there. And then the tests are expecting a 3000 already. So I think we're good to go. So, okay, I think this is it. So if we build you again, this should be significantly faster because I didn't add any lines above the install cargo watch, right? Because so that it should use the cached layer, I'm hoping. Yeah, it looks like it did use the cache layer. So significantly faster, exactly what we wanted to see. All right, so let's go ahead and what do we want to do for this? Cargo, no, Docker. Let's just do a Docker run. I don't need to connect inside of it, right? I just need to run this. So let's do a -p because I think 3000 might be used already by something else on my system. So we'll just do a -P. So it's a random port. I'm okay with that. And we'll do this for the Axum, and then we'll just let that go. I probably should have given it a name so it wouldn't choose one on its own. Okay, so now it compiles everything, and is this pulling things down? The other concern is how much CPU this is going to use, because I'm on this one computer here. I do have it plugged into power, so I at least have that. I have I'm obviously sending this out on OBS to restream. I am sending I'm recording it at the same time to the same disk and everything else. Danny, hello. How are you doing today? Well, if I was truly off grid, I don't think I would be here, right? But I am off of traditional high level internet, like high speed internet. I'm on my parents over here have a Starlink internet, so it's actually surprisingly good. I feel like in the last year or two since we tested this last time, it's gotten better as in speed wise, but I'm a bit concerned about latency. I don't like I don't know how good this is going. Like I can't actually hear what is happening on the stream. I can every once in a while check the visuals, and I do see it pausing quite often. But I may not have set things up on the Twitch or Restream side very well. So that might not be good. But anyways, Danny, how are you doing today? And how's the stream looking to you? Is it even remotely watchable? Yeah, seeing pauses every 10 seconds for maybe 100 milliseconds. Yeah, I can see that being really annoying and not that helpful. Or at least nice. Okay, what happened here? You're upset. Unused import. Okay, that's just a warning, no? So just a bunch of warnings. Warning, warning, warning. Error could not compile due to two previous errors. Am I just not seeing the errors because they're not color coded? This is just a warning, right? But I can't imagine it's not going to be happy because I don't actually have the database URL or the JOT secret. So maybe that's the problem here. I bet that's what it is. I bet we're missing the environment variables for database URL and JOT secret. Audio has been consistent though, which is probably more important. It is true. Audio is pretty important. And I'm happy about this. This is the first time I've gotten to use this little microphone that I got years ago and then never truly used. So I'm happy that it's actually working the way I expect it to. And my test earlier, the audio was actually decently sounding good. So that's good as well. Okay, let's try adding in these environment variables. So JOT secret and database URL. Database URL, which, at this point in time, I don't think we even should just do this here. We should probably just save you, switch back to you. We'll have to build. You go back down there. Okay, build in, where are you? Backend Rust Axum. Okay, and then I think that's where it can find the Docker files. So that's fine. So build backend Rust Axum, develop watch, path to this, do that, all stuff. Fun, fun, fun. And then we want ports. Okay, so we want to expose. Let's just expose 3000, and I believe that will come in as a random port, but maybe we should do incorrect type. Let's do something like 3001 to 3000. That way, at least we know it's a little bit more consistent which one we get. And then we have environment. And nope, I did not save which one we wanted. Okay, so we have jot secret. And looking at that, I believe we're using the same environment variables as the other ones, right? Yeah, so we have this jot secret and database connection. And so we can just copy you. And in fact, it might. What's the one we used for Node.js Express? Support, jot secret, salt rounds. Oh, I wonder if that's important. Okay, so let's try that. We have a port set for 3000, jot secret, salt rounds, database connection. Everything should be fine. I think this should get everything up and running, and then we can restart the test container, and then we're good to go. So let's Docker stop. What did this one get called? Agitated Banache? Key orb cat. I know it's one of my favorite it's one of my favorite misclickings or fat fingerings that I've had so far. Back when we first created this course, I set all that up, and then I don't know, like a month or two when we did our first update after release, I noticed the error and I realized that if I made a change to it, I could potentially break everybody's course, like on their system, where they would just stop working because they maybe they forked it or something else, and it's kind of working, and if they didn't do the update properly, it would potentially be in a half fixed state. And so I was like, okay, well, I just can't update now. It's forever keyword cat in this repo, but everything else has been correct keyword cat. Okay, so Docker remove agitated Banache. That's gone. Excellent. Let's do a Docker. I think compose is down, right? So let's do Docker compose down for this. No, I need to go back to here. Docker compose down. Hey phone, don't turn off. I want to be able to see. Okay, so just a warning, because the attribute vision is obsolete, it'll be ignored, right? Because this is a very old Docker file here. Okay, so I think we're good. We should be able to do a watch up. So we're going to do a Docker compose profile axum up, but instead of wait, we're going to do watch. And I can't remember, I think it is dash watch. Service axum has neither an image nor a build. Oh, because I didn't save. Well, saving does help, doesn't it? Services.axum.develop.watch target is required for non-rebuild apps. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. We're missing target /code. So in this case, I want you to be this over here. So we're going to be in go to, come on, do what I say, not what I mean. Stop it. Backend Rust Axum Danny, you're gonna head out eat dinner now. Well, have a great rest of your night, and yeah, it was great seeing you. Okay, so anything that updates in there, send it to slash code inside the container and just sync it. So let's go ahead and run this and see how it works. All right, it's going to rebuild the container. Oh, with a download, of course, because it's rebuilding and it's not going to use any of those layers that we created. Enjoy the parent visitation. I have been enjoying it so far. We've been hanging out for a few days so far, and everything's going great. I don't really get to see them very often because, well, I'm in Colorado and they're in California. And for those of you not in America, that is a it's far away. It's not something I can just sort of go over on a whim for. It has to be like a big event. We have to like we get on an airplane, fly over. Um, I am not a big fan of flying, and I wish I really wish that our railway system was better, but it is it would be extremely expensive for me to take anything other than a plane, which is um, which is surprising, I think, and it's a little bit sad. So I have to take a plane. But yeah, so I'm over here. I'm here for another couple weeks, and then back home, hang out with all of you guys from high speed internet that generally has very low latency, which I'm already looking forward to. All right, how are you doing install wise? And then how long have we been live? Does this have a counter? I only wanted to go live for about an hour, hour and a half or so. So then I can like wouldn't have too much to sort of rewatch through and sort of like see how it went, and then we can make updates for next time. So maybe what we'll do is we'll see if we can get this up running in Docker first, then push that up. Yeah, okay, duration is around 46 minutes or so. So like maybe another 15 minutes or so, and we should hopefully have this up and running in Docker, and then we'll be good. And of course, who knows if that 15 minutes is going to be taken up by all of this. Are these done? It's just that layer? That's not too bad. I'm just kind of surprised it did them in that order. I guess it runs in thread, so it does them in any order. Whichever order runs first, which is fine by me. As you can see, the internet speed is decently good. I mean, for satellite. Like obviously, if you're looking at this from having gigabit, you're gonna it's not great, but hey, we're in an area where the choice is dial up or satellite, so I think we're fine. Now I remember in the past, back when he was streaming, Mr. Halsey was he had satellite internet, and he did some streams where he set up a server sort of like Restream, but I think it was his own server on a VPS somewhere, and he streamed to that. It cached it with like a minute or so delay, and then streamed that to OBS. Sorry, OBS? No, streamed that then to Twitch. And because of that, he was able to get the full 60 frames per second, and everything looked fine. And when his internet went down pretty far, everything was perfectly fine as far as the viewers were concerned, because uh, he just had that much room for latency issues. So I could look into that. That would, I think I would probably look into that a lot more seriously if I was here longer term. Like if I had to be here for many months, or we moved back here or something, then that's what we'd have to do. Okay, how are we doing? We are on step 10 out of 11. We should be done any second now, right? Maybe? Possibly? Any second. This is that favorite part about the live stream. Just staring into the screen. Nothing to say. Nothing to look at. It's like, okay, come on, finish. There we go. Finish that step. Okay, so now you're just importing into Docker so that we can load it all up. What? Uh-oh. No, wait, no space left on device? Or oh, we've run into this before, haven't we? We had to do like a Docker clean because it's not actually my system has more than enough space on it. I've double checked. I have a fairly big disk in here. So I guess they're not disk drives anymore. But I have a fairly big SSD. Vivex, hello, how are you doing today? So when we get this problem, it's because of the virtual machine that Docker desktop installs on a Mac. That's what's got the problem. And if I remember correctly, let's do a Docker compose down. You're doing good, working on a full stack Rust app, Leptos front end, and a Rocket backend. Nice. Yeah, hopefully that should. I think that should be a really good combination. And then Rocket's been updating recently, right? The network is still in use. Well, that's fine. That I don't think that's a problem, right? Let's go ahead and okay. So I think it's Docker clean. There was a Docker. It was Docker something. I remember reading through it at one point in time of what this command was. And we did it ourselves. We figured it out. I don't know if I actually wrote it down or anything. I'm hoping it's still in my history. I think it's gonna be a Docker compose. Oh, this was probably a long time ago. I wonder if I should do a Docker system prune. Okay, so we did Docker clean, a Docker clear, a Docker clean, and a Docker system prune. Okay, so let's try Docker clear. Not like that. Docker clean, did not like that. Docker system prune. Go ahead, do that. Okay. Hey, I got 12 and a half gigabytes of space left. Excellent. So now let's try our Docker compose. We'll bring this back up again and then see if this works. I didn't tell it to delete the images, so we shouldn't destroy the entire network again with this. Hopefully. Vivex, how's the stream doing for you? I've heard that it's like 20 to 30, maybe a minute long delay, which I think I don't want to improve it. I actually probably want to make it worse. Maybe make it like longer if I have the option. And I've heard that it was pausing every 20 seconds or so for like, 1/100th of a second, like 100 milliseconds or so, which isn't, I guess it'd be a tenth of a second, which isn't great. That's suboptimal. But supposedly the audio is pretty good. Okay. Hey, okay. So it's starting to run the thing right now, which is excellent. I probably should, it would be nice to put in a health check in there and say that it needs to get past this state before it runs the tests, which would be nice. But I could also imagine not wanting to do that simply because then the profile thing won't work the way I expect it to. And that's an interesting conundrum to use with like multiple profiles in a Docker Compose. And then like, hey, if you're in this profile, I want to wait for you. Otherwise, obviously don't wait for you. I wonder how that works. All right, I'm looking at my bit rate, usually on 60 frames per second. Oh, you know what? I could probably drop. Okay, so it could probably, for the next time we stream, it could probably drop resolution. We've tested, I think I can go down to around 2K bare minimum before we start running into problems. But we've been able to hang out with 3K just fine. Bitrate I can probably, or sorry, frame rate I can probably drop to 30 frames per second. And then I could probably tell Restream if I can. I'll have to look through their options, see if I can make them delay the stream as long as possible. Like, can I make it a really long latency? That's not something I could do now, right? Like, do I have options? Okay, so like streaming setup, will this... No, that's just like the general settings. I think that is what I want. No, it's like, I don't think it's in the settings section. Now, okay, if I go to home, hey, okay, see, it worked. All right, we'll take a look. Okay, never mind. You're still compiling. That's gonna take a while. All right, let me continue checking this. Okay, so if I go to, I wonder if I can go to the current stream that I'm on. Okay, live now. Ooh, okay, so it actually finished. And it finished with the error. Did it finish? 2 previous errors, so it did, okay. But I think we're kind of like, what is our problem? So warning, warning, warning. Error. Error loading. Oh, because it's actually looking for a .env. So it's not the fact that it's in the environment, it's looking for a .env file. Okay. That's what the problem is. All right. Hey, but at least it properly copied in the code. That's a good thing. Now, if we try to load this up, so where is this error? This is in source main.rs. So if we just move this up over here. So what is this? This is in backend Rust Axm main. It's in our project solution. We'll let Rust Analyzer do its thing for a little bit. And it's these two right here. So it's saying, hey, we can't find a .env file. That's a problem, right? And I would love for it to say like, hey, if maybe you can't find a .env file, load it from the environment. Well, we can do that. So we can say like, okay, to own there, but oh, but you're just a full string. So this is actually going to try to load it as a Lua file, or do you have to be on the compiler macro side? Oh, that's just okay. That's just your. All right. So because I have .env like this, I think I don't want .env macro here. I think we want to change this to just env. And do var essentially. And so can I put as like standard? Okay, yeah, standard env var. Now we can expect you and just say missing environment variable database URL. How did I not open that up? Oh, because of that. Okay, so missing environment variable database URL to owned, and then you're fine with that. Why is everything else red? Why are you unhappy? Okay. Oh, wait. How did I get so many in there? Now, that was weird. Did I hit like copy paste multiple times? Not what I wanted to do. All right, so same thing over here. So instead of .env, we'll just use standard env var, grab you. We will expect you, and we'll just say missing environment variable jot secret. Okay, and then you should be fine and happy. And so if we come back over here, are you running now? Did that just start? It looks like it's 2 previous errors. Okay. It's a little bit hard for me to tell. Okay, so it did do a sync. So I see. Yeah, I think these are the sync where it synced the main file. Running that. Now what's my error? What are my errors? Loading.env file path not found. Main.rs line 10. Rugmat, hello, how are you doing today? Am I on vacay? It's sort of vacay because I'm a contractor. I'm not really allowed to have vacation. I just don't get paid. But I also like I'm contracted for a minimum number of hours per week right now, and so I am working while I'm here. So it's not a true vacation. So because of that, I figured, hey, why don't I try streaming as well and sort of playing around with that. Every time I come and visit my parents, I try to do some streams when I'm out here, mostly for testing the internet out and sort of seeing how that is. I might even be doing a experiment with some sort of like not rentable offices, co-working spaces this time. But it depends upon if I can get like a private window or some meeting room or something like that. I'm not gonna be one of those guys and stream on the actual open office thing. That would be insane. Okay, so you're upset because line 10 in here, which is here. So so missing environment. Can we see that? Error loading env file. Oh, wait, did it not truly update? So if we go down to the bottom, okay, so it does sync, I believe, properly, because it did rerun that. But you are unhappy. I get, let's just get rid of all these warnings. Unused import, super task entity as has. Wait, so am I not using any of these? Oh, this is CORM stuff. You know what? I'm just going to. This is probably like I probably need this. Let's do a allow and unused. And then I think I can make it global to the file if I put a bang there. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so that makes you happy. We are supposedly, yeah, we're not using that macro anymore. That's fine. Because I switched to the dot expect. Done v okay is fine for this. Okay, so let's, if I do that, back to you. Now you have the full 2 errors, but I think with the limitations of Docker watch, we have to actually quit out and restart, which is a little bit unfortunate. And it does make me wonder whether or not we should set it for sync and restart as opposed to sync and just sync. Are you actually going to stop? Are you going to give me control back? I would love control of my terminal back. Please? Hmm. What are you doing, Docker? Okay. Do you think that Docker is actually frozen, or do you think that it's actually doing something and therefore it's just not going to give me control back? Usually it's pretty fast though, isn't it? All right, let's kill the paint and we'll restart this. So we'll do a Docker compose. Let's bring this back up and see if we can get things to, if things run the way we expect them to this time. There's all those tests attempting to run. That E connection refused is the test attempting to attach to the Axum server, but the Axum server isn't up right now. So obviously that's a problem. But we can just restart that entire container and then everything will be fine. You know, and that would be a really interesting thing too. Could I set up a multi-service watch type thing? 2 previous errors still. Okay, so you're not happy. Wait. Okay, so warning, unused import, supertask any entity as tasks. And this was in database prelude. Yeah, source database prelude. We put in that allow unused. That we should not be getting that warning here, which makes me think something's going on. Why didn't that work? Okay. Let's try let's window this. Okay, I'm worried that the service isn't getting what we expect it to in the right place. Maybe it's not copying in the right code, or maybe maybe it's like putting it in somewhere else, or maybe it's like the wrong version. So I want to go and take a look at what we got here. So if this file's updates didn't make its way in, then obviously we've not set this up correctly. And then our next stream will have to fix that, because I think I'm going to want to end pretty soon regardless of how we're doing on this, so I can review how things are going and sort of like decide how the next stream is going to work. Okay, so if we do a, first off, docker compose ps. So let's exec into Axum. Going to bin bash. We'll go to, okay, so we're in code. What do we have in here? Cargo lock, cargo toml, source, and target. Okay, so we have something Rust in here. That's good. And so if we go to source, and then we wanted to look at source database prelude, I think is what it's called. So source database prelude. Well, okay, yeah, you're fine. You can't go in there. Yes, okay. So it undid my change in there. Now that is generated by CORM, but okay. The other one though that we can't be regenerated by Rust or anything else is main. So if we look at main.rs, oh, rs please. Yeah, look at that. There's still .env. So it didn't properly sync the changes that I made into the code, which is, oh, that's just not fun. Okay, so either I am going to have to volume mount it in, which is, I mean, it's fairly common to do. It's, might need to do it anyways. Or I am still kind of surprised why didn't you change this? Like if I rewrite you claim, okay, yeah, it did a write. It did say that no files were in. Okay, I'm not sure about that. I wonder if my Docker file, my compose file isn't correct for watch. I must have messed that up somehow. But okay, so if we come back to here after doing that, if I do another cat, yeah, it hasn't updated. So this file hasn't changed. If I do something silly by like doing that, there's that. Okay, sir, where was the syncing? There it is. Syncing service Axum after 128 changes were detected. 128 changes. Why is it 128 changes? That's interesting. I bet I've not set up Docker Watch correctly, and that's why we have problems. That's my guess. That's the best sort of guess that I have right now. And yeah, we're still not seeing that change here. Now, if I head back to code, oh, look at that. There's a project solution right here. This is our problem. I've got the wrong Docker code here. Okay. So in our Docker Compose for Axum, I build backend Rust Axum. We're watching backend Rust Axum, sending that in. That seems correct. I wonder if it's the opposite. And if I want to instead delete you, throw you back there, do something like that. I wonder if that would be better. Yeah, because you don't actually give me any help with what this looks like. And so if I think I have to quit you and then restart you, which is going to take a long time. So I might experiment with this a little bit outside of the stream, or maybe it'll be faster. Do I have to down that, or is it just going to be fine? I don't remember if I need to down it. Okay, two previous errors. It hasn't seen these changes in here, which makes me wonder if what are we gonna see? Load that up. Yeah, okay, so you kicked me out, so we'll reconnect to you. First of all, what do we see here? Okay, so we have cargo lock, cargo toml, source. And then if I make a change to you, enable watch, please. Did you do your thing? Oh, watch enabled. Oh, okay. So that wasn't it. That broke it even further. So I think my first original idea here was actually correct. Where my path is into /code and my target is that. That seems to be working just fine. And so if that's working just fine, then what's broken is this Docker file. Because what I probably need to do is not copy project solution into code, but copy everything there is. I don't know. It has something in code. I'm curious about like why that seems to work. So I'm not sure. All right. But I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave it off right here. This was sort of a test stream, anyways, to sort of see how things are working. We noted that the stream is like hitching every once in a while, but I'm gonna look to the settings, see if I can do anything. If I can sort of do anything, and I'm confident though we could do a good stream, I might do something early tomorrow morning. Otherwise, early for me. I traveled farther west. So for everybody, it's probably going to be even later than normal because I'm not going to wake up early for this. So there's chances of streams throughout the day, but I can't really predict when they would be. Stay tuned on Discord. I will put out a message about half an hour before them if I'm going to have a stream. And I think we're going to go ahead and leave it like this. Everybody, thank you so much for hanging out with me today as we play around with this. And we'll hopefully get a good stream out one of these days, or at least one time during this trip. So with that, have a great one, and see you next time. Hey, Vampire! Hello and goodbye. Have a good rest of your day too. Yeah. All right, where's my OBS? I have to do this fun thing now. All right. I will see you later. Have a good one, guys. Bye.